Well, hello everyone and welcome to another Larry's Orchid Growing Guide. Today we're going to be doing a very easy to grow orchid, and that is the Paphiopedilum. We're very excited for this one because we actually have them in bloom now, so we're going to show you a close-up because they're so beautiful. And we also want to express that it is an exotic but very easy to grow orchid. So a lot of people overcomplicate these, and we're going to hopefully alleviate that in this video. Now when it comes to Paphiopedilums, they can tolerate low light conditions, so for those of you that do not have that strong south-facing window, it's going to be great for you. Now another thing is that they can handle watering too much. If you water an orchid too much, you're going to kill it. But the Paphiopedilums are swamp orchids, meaning that they can handle those overwatered conditions. Now it does not mean that they can be having wet feet. You know, if you have them in a tray, they don't like water sitting in the tray. But if you're someone that overwaters or waters too frequently, it's going to do just fine for you and it's going to survive, which is very forgiving. And it's one of those things that we always worry too much about, is watering too much. But these are the ones where you can just kind of take that part out of your mind right now because they're going to do fine for you. Now another thing that makes Paphiopedilums very easy to grow is that they can be divided. When it comes to dividing your orchids, it's never really recommended if you want to have it bloom frequently or bloom multiple blooms, because of the fact that when you take apart a plant, it's going to do just fine because it's forgiving in that aspect. But when it comes to the division, it's going to take away part of that energy, which would result in either a bloom or multiple blooms. And so leaving it as one plant is usually recommended, but if you're someone that does like to divide their plants, it's going to give you multiple plants, just might take a little bit longer to flower. Now, when it comes to the places where you can plant this is so awesome because of the fact that the Paphiopedilums don't get any taller than this, meaning that they're considered a windowsill orchid. So if you have a windowsill, it's going to be a great place for that. Now the very last thing we're going to talk about is when it comes to repotting, you're going to want to repot with the front and back bulbs in mind, because Paphiopedilums use that same method of front and back bulbs, and you don't want to pot the Paphiopedilum with the back bulb against the wall, otherwise it has nowhere else to grow. So you want to put the front bulb, the oldest bulb, right up against the wall of the pot. And that way it has a lot of room to grow back where it can grow into larger plants. Because the front is still going to be existent, so you don't want to just forget about that, because that's going to have roots that are going to feed energy to the whole plant. But is also going to not really grow forward because it's already decided that it's going to grow in the opposite direction. So you're fine cramming it up against the wall of the pot there and leaving a lot of room behind it. That way you don't have to repot as frequently. Now the very last thing we're going to talk about here is the varieties that we carry at Larry's Orchids. This is Jacqueline's Moon. It is a green stemmed Paphiopedilum, and it's obviously going to reflect in the green flower. And that is so elegant. I mean, tell me that is not a beautiful orchid. Now we also carry, which is just coming into bloom, the Red Illusion. And the Red Illusion is going to obviously give a reddish purple flower, and that is going to be very elegant as well. Now you have noticed that the leaves are mottled. We do sell most of our Paphiopedilums in the mottled leaf, and that's because not only do they give a very beautiful flower, but they're also going to look very beautiful when they're not in flower. And that's one thing that's really important, because oftentimes people find that they're getting bored when their plants are not in bloom because it's just a green leaf. Now we do sell a species orchid, which is another Paphiopedilum here that is not in the mottled leaf, but this is also, this is also going to be just your plain green leaf Paphiopedilum. We do sell another one called Pink Fred. This is a very beautiful orchid, and it's very nice and compact in comparison to the Jacqueline's Moon here. So there you go. That is just a little look at some of the varieties. We do have a lot more, so make sure you check the link in the description box below to check them all out. Now the very last thing that I forgot to mention during the other description of the plants is that these plants will come in blooming size. That does not mean that they're going to come in bloom, because here at Larry's Orchids we don't ship with the bloom. We might ship with the spike, but we will notify you in the description box below. So make sure you check the description because it will tell you if it is a seedling, blooming size, or in spike in the description. So that is one thing that you can put into your advantage to not be disappointed with what you get. But I find it really hard to be disappointed with these because they're so beautiful. And since they are blooming size, you're going to get something that you're going to love very soon. So it's one of those ones that you can take the care of a seedling out of the equation because it's already mature and it's ready to bloom for you. So make sure you check them out in the description box below. I know you guys are going to love it. So until next episode, this is Luke from Larry's Orchids, thanking you for making us the #1 stop shop for all your orchid and tropical needs. Take care, everyone. Bye.